Okay, good morning. We're here for Marion County Board of Commissioners weekly board meeting. It's Wednesday, March 23rd, 2016, in the Courthouse Square Senate Hearing Room. And if you would join us, start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, I love saying that. I think we have public comment, but Mark, we need you to come out here for just a second. We have a technical issue that we need you to help us with.
I think it's your microphone.
This thing keeps shaking right here. And actually, we wanted you to be able to come out here, and we want to wish you a happy 50th birthday. Maybe you can turn the camera. You don't get to get on camera. Mark is the guy who takes care of us with his volunteer crew. Happy birthday, Mark.
No singing, Mark, but we wanted everybody to know what 50 looked like.
Yeah, here it is.
I told Christy today when she warned me, I said, at 59, which I'm almost 60, I feel better than I did at 50.
Yeah.
So it can be uphill or downhill from here on. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Pretty blessed.
Happy birthday.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Hope it's a good one.
Yeah. And thank you for the crew back there that keeps him young.
Yeah.
Joe.
I shouldn't waste time on this, but when I turn
Joe and our newest member is Jill.
Jill. Okay. Welcome, Jill.
50, I just got out of the country because I knew there was going to be signs between Staten and Sublimity. I wanted no encouragement. I said, I won't be here, don't think anything, and I'm not telling you where I'm going.
All right.
So
That's what I'm going to do for my 60th.
we'll take care of it.
Okay, so under public comment, Noni is signed up, but I think she left. That's none. I'm sorry. I'm teasing. I always like to see Noni.
We have to be more serious this
Okay,
morning.
all
soon.
right, because somebody's watching us. Genoa from Marion County Farm Bureau, I believe, is here with us. Would like to make a comment. Welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And just state for the record your name and address.
My address.
Yeah, wherever you locate.
Genoa Ingram, Marion County Farm Bureau. Our office is located at 1284 Court Street, Northeast in Salem. And I am just here on behalf of Marion County Farm Bureau to invite our county commissioners to I believe it's the third annual Marion County Farm Bureau Ag Tour. And this is when we take a bus tour to various farming facilities in Marion County. I know that Commissioner Cameron has attended once before. There is no charge to our public officials because we see it as an education opportunity to see the various environments in which our commodities are produced. And we heartily invite you to attend, and I have some flyers for you.
Thank
Date
you.
and time? Know
Oh, I'm
that?
sorry, it is April 6th, and the bus is going to load at 8:45 at Howell Prairie Vineyard, and we do have the address printed on the flyer.
So availability for the public while you're talking about it, how do they get into it?
They could call our office at 503-378-0595. They can also check the Marion County webpage, which is Marion CO.
Yeah, it's too long for
It
everybody.
is quite long, so if they just Google Marion County Farm Bureau, they'll either get us or a Farm Bureau in Florida.
Oh,
Right, Marion County, Florida.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And yes, Genoa, I did get to do, I think it was 2 years ago I went on that.
Right.
And one of the things that I was amazed at, the tour actually ended up in downtown Portland, if I remember right. But one of the things that I saw that I remember was the onion processing plant here in Marion County on right off of 99. And then, Commissioner, there was a place we went to where they pelletized hops. And we all know what that goes into. And I'd never seen that before. I'd seen pellets that you use for wood pellets, etc. But the pelletization of hops, that they can ship them all around the world in smaller containers, that was amazing.
Well, this year, one of the stops is Willamette Valley Pie Company.
Oh, I'm
so
in.
you won't want to miss that. Also, Howell Prairie Vineyard, Mountain Views Seed Company, Northwest Greenlands, which is a composting facility, and Durfler Seed. So
Fantastic. Are you going to go down to the port like we did 2 years ago? That wasn't.
we don't have a schedule this time for the port. We try
'Cause
to
there's no
cycle
port.
through various, yeah. We try to cycle through various stops to keep it new and fresh each time. I see us going back to the port sometime in the future.
I remember that. We were on the bus, we drove up to the port, and all these trucks are backed up. We're sitting off to the side, and I looked over, and the guy came on the bus, and I said, "Why are all the trucks backed up? Nobody's moving." And he says, "It's lunch hour." And they shut down the whole port and make all the trucks wait during their lunch hour. And I said, what a way to run a business. You imagine all your garbage trucks just shutting down at the same time, or, restaurant closing its doors because, it's lunchtime. I thought, what an amazing place. No wonder the port is so dysfunctional, and we're having so many problems getting our farm to market products out.
I'm just looking at the calendar. That's a Wednesday. We do a board session in Woodburn usually that day. But if there's some way, I'd like to go. So figure it out.
Maybe Janet and I can handle the board session. Yeah.
I'll do it either way.
Or
We
get
can
on
make
and off the bus.
accommodation to have a vehicle. We have one vehicle at the office that carries 7 passengers, and would be happy to swing by and pick up whoever wants to attend and meet up with the rest of the
Okay.
Figure it out.
company.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for bringing that to our attention, and good work. Okay, so we'll go into our consent agenda.
All right, Chair Cameron, make a motion, first of all, to approve this calendar, and on it this morning, under Business Services, we approve an order to reappoint Jerry Bumgarner, Joshua Graves, and Derek Kernan to the Marion County Compensation Board with a term ending December 31st, 2016. Under Health, approve a grant with Mid-Willamette Valley Community Action Agency for incoming funds in the amount of $115,000 to provide services in support of the Marion County Drug Court. Tax Office, approve an order authorizing the property tax refund in the amount of $16,531.81 to Pick Sweep Company. And also in the Tax Office, approve an order authorizing property tax refund in the amount of $35,429.06 to Safeway Incorporated.
Okay, I'll second the motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion consent calendar is done. Our next item is under Public Works, and Joe Fenimore is here to share with us that. Consider an order approving a conditional use. Go right
Good morning,
ahead.
Commissioners.
Morning.
For the record, Joe Fenimore. This item before you is a conditional use to establish a winery as a commercial activity in conjunction with farm use on an 18.6 acre parcel in an SA zone located on River Road South in Salem. The hearings officer conducted a public hearing on the matter on August 5th, and on October 25th issued a decision denying the request. On November 4th, the decision was appealed to the board. The board accepted the appeal and held public hearings on December 16th and 23rd. In the denial, the hearings officer found the proposal did not satisfy all the criteria and that additional information was required on septic feasibility, roadway access, geologic hazards, and noise impacts. In addition, the hearings officer concluded that since grapes were not actually fermented on the property, she could not conclude that the facility constituted a winery. At the hearing before the board, the applicant supplied additional information and argument that the criteria were satisfied. The applicant described the operation and explained that although initially grapes would not be permitted on the site, other activities taking place such as aging and blending of wines do constitute a winery. The board agreed and reversed the hearings officer's decision and approved the request subject to conditions. The conditions are found in Exhibit C and include obtaining all necessary permits and outlines the activities that can be conducted in conjunction with the winery. The applicant's attorney has reviewed and approved the findings and conditions before you today. The board has the option of approving the order as written, directing staff to make changes to the order, or take no action at this time. Staff recommends the order be approved as written, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
I really don't have any questions. It's just the order that formalizes the hearing and decision we made earlier. So Chair Cameron, if I could, I would make a motion that we approve the recommendation, which approves the order as written.
And I'll second your motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Long trail here, but we're there towards the end. Okay, so I think, according to my electronic machine here, we are at a point, we're going to have a public hearing at 9:30. It is 9:11.
Before you just close off,
I'm not going to do that until you agree that we can recess.
I never got asked before. Let me
We got to
think.
have a motion to recess. I think,
Not really.
Right?
No, we haven't done that.
Oh,
I just want to make Gloria a little nervous and discuss something that happened recently, just to let people know that we were watching and thinking about it. It has to do with the decision out of Newburgh and Clackamas County, Yamhill County. We'll do that. To rearrange an exit out on Highway 219 and Wilsonville Road. We heard about it late. I want to bring it up just to let people know we're watching. We heard about it late. In fact, it was on the consent agenda for the Oregon Transportation Committee last, I have it here, the 17th, whenever that was, Thursday or Friday.
Thursday.
And we did try to have some input, but up till now, we really haven't been treated as a partner in those decisions up there having to do with the Newburgh-Dundee bypass. We supported it, maybe before you were here, but we always have, and knew that it would have some impact on Marion County. But when you go changing what was the approved plan and bypass another one road, well, any car that went up that road, I say now comes to us. And people up that way didn't seem to think that was important. And I guess my message is, well, now they know it is. And I did testify there at their meeting, was well received, and said just two things. One, we want to be involved in what affects us, certainly. And number two, you're putting more traffic in two areas. One, St. Paul, who really does not want to be an urban transportation
Right.
line by any means, and the other is Donald, and the interchange there. I say Donald, but it's Elin Road, already a substandard facility. So my message was, one, we want to be involved, and two, to highlight and put on their screens, I guess, the need to upgrade the Donald interchange. So they said, we're aware, we're doing it. Found out they have $3.5 million set aside to at least start planning on that, and a promise from Tim Potter at ODOT to, I guess I might not have been talking to the microphone very well, to start working on construction money too. So it's moving, and that's good. So I just wanted to comment on that. It was just a little upsetting, but I think we made some progress.
Well, appreciate your quick action on being able to go there and testify. And it was that same day at French Prairie, that discussion came up with our, I hesitate to use the word partners, because they don't treat us like partners from Wilsonville. And it was interesting, in their documents for saying they don't want this traffic, they used 2,500 cars a day on Wilsonville Road, but yet when they're supporting our deal, they drop the
Won't have
number.
any
They
impact.
drop the number of cars down that it's going to impact us. It's like, okay, who's right here? But that, for anybody who's watching, if you've ever traveled south on I-5, even northbound at times, but south on I-5, especially around the 5 o'clock hour, that right-hand lane will back up into
can
the
stop.
freeway. Yeah, and similar to what Kubler Interchange used to do until they have made some changes there and widened it to 2 lanes. But we see that, obviously, that Elin Road interchange is critical for North Marion County. And then the other thing that it's going to impact is if you look at the map that I think you brought us the map the other day, or staff did, that you've got Shampooey Park up there, you've got that small
Beaverdale
road.
Road.
Yeah, and in the summertime, you got all that agricultural traffic up there, and what it's going to do is divert.
I mentioned agriculture in front of them, you know.
People will try to find shortcuts, and so it's a
Combines
challenge.
in the road. And
Yeah.
I have two others, if I could, just because I'm thinking about them. One is, and I think it's good news, something we've been working for at the SCATS meeting yesterday is on transportation, a new plan to look at Highway 22 Mission Street from Gaffin Road to the airport. And it does include an interchange at Gaffin Road that we've been working for a long time. Just so my report is it's alive. I'm looking for public comment and positive comments. But to me, it's really all important in opening up development of the Mill Creek property this side of OCI, and maybe making Corden a real alternative to Lancaster and taking some pressure off of it. So that's encouraging. And I have one other, and I can take care of this so I don't have to write anything. But I'm on the ONC board, and we're waiting for a BLM decision on their plan. Whatever, to manage forests in Oregon for the future. We're pretty confident that plan elevates a number of items that aren't having to do with timber production, recreation, some environmental concerns. Those are kind of the main ones. Something different. Doesn't matter. A list of things that aren't cutting timber and takes out of production all but 27% of the grounds, what we saw. So there was an editorial written by 3 commissioners in the Oregonian this weekend. Tony Hyde from Columbia County, Simon Hare from Josephine County, and one other. It may have been phase 2.
It was Freeman.
Oh, it was Freeman from Douglas
yeah.
County. So you saw that. I just want to say that I'm very much agreement in what they wrote. They talked about the impacts. Josephine County, here 75% of your land is owned by the federal government, who pays no taxes, doesn't even manage the land well, and I'm pretty well convinced of that. And something different than this plan has come out. So the plan is, as soon as it does come out, if what's in there is what's been indicated, we're just going to file suit immediately, and not where I want to be. It doesn't accomplish anything. We've had lawsuits in the past, and you win them, but nothing changes. But we've got to get this one stopped, and it's our only action. So I was supposed to write a letter to the editor or something and reaffirm my position, I hope our position on this, and I'm going to let this suffice instead, at least the public acknowledgement that I certainly agree with the things they wrote.
Yeah, and we obviously in Marion County aren't as dependent as those counties that were represented in that opinion piece, but we've got jobs. There's 700 jobs in the canyon today that are dependent upon the harvest of timber, and their facilities are located on the Lynn County side, but you know we're not border-oriented people, so. You know, there's a lot of people working there that live in Marion County, so it's important that we continue to preserve what we have, and if we can do anything to help, you know, balance that those jobs.
I just saw this like 1.7 million in Marion County, and that's what I call discretionary money. So some's dedicated to roads, but we certainly need it for that. But it used to be 6, and this is the last payment. So now it just goes to actual receipts, and the number could be 0. So it matters,
Right.
Even to us.
Yeah, good point. Thanks for correcting me on that. Well, let's read the calendar here, as we're going to wait till 9:30 to do our public hearing. So for the next tomorrow, let's see, today is the 23rd. We're here in the board session, and after this afternoon at noon, we will be at the State and Sublimity Rotary and County Community Forum at the Staten Golf Club at 8724 Golf Club Road Southeast in Almsville, and I'll mention to them that I'm looking forward to buying some strawberries from the Rotary
okay.
for their fundraiser.
You gotta
today.
buy those from me, I have a quota.
All right, well, give me, whatever I got last year,
All
I
right.
ran out of too soon, so I need to up my order. Hope you recorded that. And then Monday, we have here on the 28th, the Board of Commissioners calendar review at 8:30 in the Silverton Conference Room on the 5th floor here in the building. Also on the 28th, Monday at 9 a.m., management update, Silverton Conference Room on the 5th floor. Monday on the 28th at 11 a.m., Board of Commissioners, Chief Administrative Officer, executive session if needed in the Silverton Conference Room on the 5th floor. Monday, busy day Monday, at 2 p.m., executive session for bargaining located here on the 5th floor in the Silverton Conference Room. And then on Tuesday at 8:30, Tuesday the 29th at 8:30 a.m., a work session for Business Services Annual Risk Report. Also on Tuesday the 29th at 10 a.m., the work session for Bureau of Land Management issues.
Well, that'll be interesting.
That'll be fun. Maybe you shouldn't show up. Help your blood pressure.
I'll be nice.
Okay. On Tuesday, the 29th at 1 o'clock, one-on-one department head elected officials meeting with Colleen from Business Services. And on the Tuesday, the 29th at 4 o'clock, Mid-Willamette Homeless Initiative Task Force at the Kaiser Civic Center, 930 Chamawa Road in Kaiser. And Wednesday, we are back here on the 30th at 9 a.m. for our board session. And also Wednesday, a very important meeting, which you just referred to, Commissioner, on at 4 o'clock about Highway 22. And that will be at the Salem Airport Fire Station at 2742 25th Street, Southeast Salem.
I might, if I could, that Highway 22 meeting is actually an open house where plans will be laid out and looking for comments from the public. So anybody
Public's
can
invited.
stop in
Yeah.
and I'll certainly be there for some of it.
Okay, so that's our calendar for the next week. We've got about 7 minutes left. And
You know, it was supposed to talk longer, remember?
yeah. So if we don't have any, we can go back to public comment if you want to speak longer, or I can just take we can just take a recess for the next couple of minutes. Seeing no further comments, we're going to recess. Okay, we are coming out of recess. We are back here on Wednesday, March 23rd, 9:30 at a Marion County Board of Commissioners meeting. We are going to open a public hearing and present the public hearing, Brandon Reich from our Public Works. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, Brandon Reich, staff representing the Planning Division of Public Works. The item before you is the application of Super Game, a paintball event, for a small mass gathering permit on exclusive farm use zone property located at 2794 French Prairie Road, Northeast, St. Paul. The property is located on the east side of French Prairie Road, approximately 5,000 feet north of the road's intersection with the St. Paul Highway. Surrounding properties in all directions consist of property being farmed in a EFU zone. The applicant is requesting to conduct Super Game, a paintball gaming event, as a small mass gathering event. The event would take place April 29th, April 30th, and May 1st, 2016. Estimated attendance is 1,500 people. Based on the information, the proposed event meets the definition of a small gathering. According to the information submitted with the application, sound application will be used, no alcohol will be available, and fireworks will not be used or shown. The applicant states that sound amplification will be used for public address announcements and as background music in the vendor area. The applicant states that there will be no amplified sound after 11 p.m. on Friday, 9:30 p.m. on Saturday, or 3 p.m. on Sunday. Quiet periods will be enforced by on-site security. The mass gathering ordinance requires the applicant to coordinate with various governmental agencies to assure that there are adequate facilities and services available. These agencies include Marion County Public Works, the Sheriff's Office, Environmental Health, Risk Management, and the local fire district, which in this case is St. Paul. Each of these agencies was provided with a copy of the request and given an opportunity to comment on its requirements. All of the Marion County agencies approved the plans submitted by the applicant, and the St. Paul Fire District requested that the applicant allow the fire district to inspect the property prior to the event. After today's public hearing, the board has the options to continue the public hearing to a date certain, close the public hearing and leave the record open, close the public hearing and approve, deny, or modify the proposal. Staff recommends the board approve the request subject to the recommended conditions of approval. With that, I'm available for any questions you may have.
Any questions for Brandon, Commissioner?
Not really, but I couldn't tell. Has this been held before?
That's
I couldn't recall.
No.
No. But ones like it have been held around.
We've done other mass gathering events. And
For
on,
this subject?
on this property, we don't find a record of a previous mass gathering application. But there is a paintball location on the site where they have a business where they can do paintball. But this is going to take place outside of that paintball area that's already established and take place for different hours and such. Probably the applicants can explain that further. But there's a paintball.
All right. I have one other
Thing on
maybe you
site.
know. How many people are they expecting? I didn't quite see that.
1,500.
1,500 over all the time or over a period of time?
That'd be the estimated maximum attendance at any one time.
All right. That's all I have.
Okay, so maybe we should hear from the applicants. We have signed up Dick Boisering and Jeff Boisering. Yeah, and then when you come up, if you want to come up over here, you can all three come up together and just introduce yourself for the record. Derek, what was your last name?
Striker.
That's a good paintball name.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like.
And if you can spell that for the record, that'd be great.
Stryker. First is Derek, Derek.
Okay. Great, welcome.
Thanks.
This is your opportunity to share with us about your event, and we'll maybe have some questions after you want to explain what you're doing.
Okay. We've been doing Super Game for about 17 years in various locations. It started out in West Salem in a cherry orchard. It's grown significantly over the years from a 100-person paintball event to the game it is today. We've been holding Super Game at this current location at Boisery Farms for this will be our 6th year. After last year, we were recommended to apply for a mass gathering permit. After a sheriff drove by and saw the event, he said he recommended we go through the steps to do this. So we started that in the winter of 2015, going through the application process. I went to and met with each department that I was required to talk to them to see if they had any recommendations so I could be proactive in getting the plans together. Everybody was pretty happy with it. It's a great event. We have paintballers come from all over the country, some internationally. We also hold a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club this year. We'll be our beneficiary. We typically get a donation of anywhere from $7,000 to $15,000 off our prize raffle for that.
Great. So, Derek, your role in, if I may.
Yeah,
Derek,
yeah.
Derek, your role in this is what?
Event organizer.
Okay, so do you have an association or you have a business, or I'm just curious?
Yeah, it's Super Games put on by the company. It's called War Paintball here in Salem off Portland Road. I've been with that company for almost 10 years now. I'm the manager of that business.
Okay, great. Commissioner, any questions for Derek?
Well, you've done this before, and it looks like everything's swell, but what kind of problems do you have? Injuries or anything? I guess that's fire, and that would be why the fire department's interested. Has there been any troubles in the past?
No problem with fires. Minor injuries here and there. We have had, medical crews come out to get some people off the property that had sustained injuries. Usually it's heat exhaustion, things like that. We do have a EMT on site 24 hours a day during the entire event, as well as a handful of other trained medic people.
Okay.
And just so I don't have to look it up, what is the date of the event?
It's April 29th, 30th, and May 1st.
Shouldn't be too hot.
No, not this
Okay.
year.
I don't have any other questions.
Okay. Good. Jeff, Dick, do you want to have any?
Well, Derek covered about everything, but it's an event that they've held for years, and they were looking for a place, and they came out because we have a license for paintball. We got it under Measure 37. And it's just grown into be an exceptionally larger event. This is one of the big events of the year, the first big one, and the manufacturers send all their professional teams, or a lot of them, to show off the new gear and the new clothes, etc. So it's gotten to be quite a big deal. The only injury we had last year was one sprained ankle. A few years ago, we had a guy had a seizure, and we had 3 medics and 4 EMTs playing. And as soon as we called for medical help, like, everybody showed up, and he was about the best help you could get until the ambulance come and picked him up. But we haven't had to have anybody haul away an ambulance or nothing else other than that one occasion. It's just been, from running around in the woods playing, you just twist an ankle once in a while. And for 1,000 people playing and one sprained ankle in 3 days, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Great. I'm curious, maybe this goes back to Derek, do you work with any travel organizations, like Travel Salem, for example, to identify where your constituents are coming from and the economic impact that this particular event has on the area?
Not for this event. We've spoke with Travel Salem in the past. It's been a couple years since I've spoke with a representative from them, though.
Okay. So and then the other question is it does say here in the permit that there's on-site camping, correct?
Correct.
So you have the facilities to do that. Of the people that participate, do you know approximately how many, and this is more from economic standpoint, stay on the property versus who would go out and get hotels or other RV camping grounds? Do you have any idea?
I don't have the exact numbers on me right now. It's gotten bigger. We shrunk our camping and RV areas down a little bit this year, so we're pushing a lot of the off-site camp RV people to Shampooey Park and other hotels in the area, from Newburgh to Woodburn, and we're partnering with Shiloh Inns. I don't have it with me. There's 2 other hotels we're partnering with for a discount, and we're pushing people toward them, though.
Yeah, when you say you shrunk it down, what from where to where?
Our
Where to
RV
what?
camping area, we made it
Right.
smaller so we'd have more space for people to spread out. It was a little bit too tight last year. So we cut it down substantially, and we're just pushing more people to go to Shampooey Park now.
Good. Okay.
Well, just that was a good idea, and Travel Salem, and they'd help you promote it, is what I was thinking.
Right. Some of the things they do.
I'd reconnect with them if you got the chance.
Yeah, and Commissioner serves over there, but I think it's important that they know about the event because it's bringing people in, like you said, from outside the country, from outside the state, and those are the types of events that, bring jobs to the state of Oregon and also to Marion County that we're interested in, and they can help track that information. They give us quarterly updates, and they'll talk about different events, so be a good connection for your cause in the long run as well. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Anything else from you, gentlemen?
Nope.
Thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
So Brandon, you want to come back up and? I don't have anything for Brandon.
No, you just ask him if he has anything else now, and he'll say no, and then I'll make a motion, is how this will go.
So,
I did want to say one thing.
Oh,
well, wait a minute, maybe I don't want you to say anything.
It's up to you.
Yes, any other comments from staff, Brandon?
I did wanted to explain the attendance thing. A small mass gathering starts when the event organizer anticipates more than 750 people on site at any time. And then a large mass gathering is triggered at 3,000 people. So a lot of events can take place, and over time as they grow, and they can be under that number, and they don't require a mass gathering. So it's kind of tricky for staff to we work with the people and try to catch them at some point when they anticipate attendance is going to exceed 750. You never know, I guess, unless you sell the tickets and everything comes to term, whether or not you're actually going to have that kind of an attendance or not. So this event has grown over time, and as it's grown, it's to the point where either maybe last year they did have attendance over 750, or at least this year they expect it to exceed that. So now they've come in for the mass gathering permit.
So just a question then, Brandon, just to remind me, so maybe for their sake too, so as it grows, the next permit, what would be the difference in
Next
requirements?
permit has a conditional use component with it too, where we look at the impact on farming when it exceeds 3,000, when the expected or anticipated attendance would exceed 3,000 people. And the permitting process is actually very similar. Occasionally, we do a permit like that.
No extra conditions that would make it harsher, or I'm just trying to think whether that limit's as big as you can ever get, or?
I'd have to review it in detail, but I don't anticipate that in the past we've had any particular conditions. A situation like that, we might ask that it be located away from certain areas if there's farming or if there's like animal husbandry going on, to keep some setback for that, to look at the impact on farming. But I don't recall anything specific that changes for that.
Like if people are raising chickens or something?
People are raising chickens or they're raising horses, and there's an impact to the horse raising area, somebody will ask for a setback from that.
I think there was a little peck at me on
They
that.
can have chickens out there.
Yeah, they can. I wanted to
exactly.
make sure you understood that.
A little peck at you. Just having fun. Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you.
So Chair Cameron, if I could, I'd like to make a motion that we close the public hearing and approve the request with the conditions listed.
I'll second your motion. Any further discussion? I just want to say thank you for coming in and going through the process, and hopefully we'll be able to see you have a successful event. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, that's done.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And we already read our calendar. We can close the public hearing, and we will go ahead and, are you ready to close our board session today? Are you
I've
good?
done all the talking I normally
All right.
do, so.
We will close our board session. We're adjourned.